Our next group will be Team Comet Par. Give it up for them.
Make sure it's connected.
Yeah.
Put it on the ground. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's stand over.
And they have a video already of what they did. So it's good. Sometimes that happens because it's hard to present with the technology. So they're good.
Right? Yeah. All right. All right, ready? All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. We are the Comet Corps. We are a group of engineers and programmers here to present to you our group project. If you go to the next slide, we have a little bit of background actually. We have a little bit of background actually for what we did. We have some experience last year with this. Something we did for Pluto Hash, where our namesake comes from the fact that we're a makeshift superhero group that works together to save people during natural catastrophes, wildfires, and among other stuff. As you can see here, this is one of our costumes being worn by Samira. And one of the things we didn't get to do at Pluto Hash last year, we didn't get to make our iconic Comet Corps vehicle. What's the name of our vehicle, by the way?
The Comet Cruiser?
The Comet Cruiser? The Comet Cruiser, that's the name of the vehicle.
I didn't just make that up.
Today we are going to show you guys the abilities of the Comet Cruiser. First of all, go to the next slide. So, my name is Suna. I was the lead programmer for this project. And then we have Traven, who is the creator of this PowerPoint and the co-programmer for this one. And then we have our lead chief of engineering, Cole, to my left. And then we have Samira, who is also the co-designer. Right, next slide. Our design philosophy is that we wanted to construct a vehicle that could be used in all sorts of life-threatening emergencies, ranging from wildfires to hurricanes to tornadoes. For the vehicle, we wanted to construct a bucket and a shovel. So this is the little contraption here where you have a shovel to break the debris.
Front-end loader from any commercial construction vehicle. It can move very heavy objects, push dirt, whatever you need it to. It's very versatile, very utilitarian.
Yeah. And we have a crane and a rescue ramp on the back to make sure that we can help rescue people and we can save people. And it has color detection so that we can hopefully emulate the detection of a fire here based on limitations of what we have working for them. And our team was basically encountered challenges such as working with the LEGO IDE, which Samira can tell you a little more about.
So, upon building our project, my team and I encountered main issues, such as finding the correct objects and the pieces for the correct part. Sometimes it was an issue connecting the parts and coding back and forth, which, let me tell you, we figured that out.
Yeah.
And we managed to manage some solutions to make this project come together as a whole successfully.
Right. And before we get into the back end of our code, let's actually demonstrate what our little robot can do.
Do we want to show exactly what components are? Because there's some things in here that are supposed to symbolize something.
Yeah, we'll get to that after we've shown what it can do first. I know that the audience is...
3-minute presentation.
I know. We got quick.
Go ahead, demonstrate. That's the ramp for people to rescue into the shelter. Now pay close attention. You'll see the crane being activated. It's lowering a rope, a rescue rope with a hook.
It takes a minute, unfortunately. It's for safety reasons.
It's slow, but you could pull someone out of a building or out of cover with the rescue rope.
Yep. And then last but not least, we have the ramp. So this is where the color detection comes in to say there's a fire. This little thing should be able to detect where there's a fire from. And then the ramp
The
goes
moving
down.
bucket, front-end loader, push dirt over the fire.
And then after it's able to go through, it's able to push anything around and it's able to keep moving. So that's for the basics of what our little car can do. If we go to the code, here we have all our imports for color sensing, getting the motives to work. Two of the things we did not get to work on, unfortunately, were for the force and the distance sensor, which we'll get into a little bit further down. We have here, we basically have the pair of motors that control the wheels down there, so they actually get to move. And it's going to wait for it to actually go through each set of command before it actually moves on. That's how we get it to work smoothly and not end up crashing into anything. So that's good for cruise control. Excellent. Up here, we actually have a while loop for the color sensor, so that basically is constantly checking to see what color it's looking for. Then when it finally senses that color, it's going to execute all the code in here, basically causing the motor and point E that controls the front loader to actually go down and go up and then move. Here we have all the code that we commented out, which unfortunately doesn't quite. It works, but the issue we ran into is that we ran out of ports for we only have like 6 ports to work with. If we had more ports, we would have had a pressure sensor so that we'd push it and then it would be able to do more commands. We also have to have a distance sensor so that it could prevent from running into walls. Couldn't do that, ran out of ports. And last but not least, it all runs in May. So, and that's more or less it.
2 minutes of questioning from the judges. 2 minutes. Any questions?
When it first hit the fire, is that when the ramp came down in the back? Is that because it hit something, or?
It's just a demonstration that it can push through debris.
Okay.
The ramp is this indicates like a bomb shelter almost. We have reinforced steel walls ideally.
Okay.
We have supplied oxygen canisters for people we rescue out in fires, food, rations, and we have an EMT personnel on board to help people get rescued. We have satellite communications mounted on the radar on the roof.
Yeah.
And
If we were limited by our hardware, if we had enough ports, I would have liked to have done it more dynamically, where if it would sense if it hit something, it would ideally sense more things, but we ran out of
we
places
used
to
all
put
the peripherals that the Lego store had to offer, so we couldn't do any more if we wanted to.
We tried pushing this thing to its limits.
Okay. Thank you very, very much.
All right, so we'll go with Team Rocket team. Give it up for Team Rocket. And again, if you guys haven't, you can scan this code for the WhatsApp groups and you go to poll for the crowd favorite for which one do you like the best, okay? If you guys haven't joined.
Okay, everybody. Hi, everybody. My name's Rakaya. This is Asmao. This is
Luke Evans.
and we are Team Rocket because we're coding under the stars. We might as well shoot for them. So we are beginner coders. We literally have no experience. This is our first time working with Python. We decided, we'd give it a try, see what we can do, see how far we can go. So here you can see that our Luke makes a presentation. My sister Ismail helped build it, and I was the coder. So our little bot, everybody kind of went the traditional route of, make a bot that'll rescue and save, or bring water, or dig up dirt to, cover the fire. And we decided to focus mainly on the victims, because our lovely Ismail here, she's part of the psychology team. So we were thinking what's something that most people won't think about when they're thinking about rescue and recover? And we were like, the victims and how they're feeling. So our little bot, our little bot, he's a healer bot. His name's Sai. His name is Sai. He's adorable. He has tone and speaks with helpful messages. Our healer bot spins and dances using his freaky wheels, and our bot likes to bring joy around to people in his environment. As I was saying, everybody's pretty much just thinking, rescue and relief. We decided to go the untraditional route and think, he's kind of like a therapy dog, a therapy robot. All the victims that are feeling, sad and all the trauma that they're experiencing, he's just there, help out, cheer you up, make you, feel okay. One minute as we pair him again. As you can see, he goes around, saving the hearts and minds. He gets tired. Sometimes he powers off. Okay, and our little bot, his name's Sai again. He's going to give us a little demonstration on how he sings and dances. You can't see his message, but he's saying he's here to help. With a little heart. He's even dancing with his little wheels, if you can see. Okay, and again, we didn't have our the pictures, but as we said, we're beginner coders, literally never touched this stuff before today. So we pretty much just use simple codes that everybody, even people like us, could use. Just, again, move pair, which is helping him spin around, and then the sound beat, which helps him sing and dance. So that's pretty much all we have. Any questions? Thank you.
Very nice. Good job.
All right, so our next team, we give it up for Team Phoenix Core.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. We present the wildfire extinguisher and air filter. This device by us, the Phoenix Core. Here is so our improvement according to the Yale environment 360, about 50,000 people died between 2008 and 2018 because of wildfire smoke. So for wildfire smokes, carries an air filter for the air here, for the damaging air, from the damaging smoke coming, and then filter out as healthy oxygen for the plants and humans, or for all life on Earth. It also carries a sprinkler here. It spins, just in case. So we have the coder. Present yourself.
I'm Phil. I coded it.
Yes, and the first time when I met him today, he said that he didn't have much knowledge in coding, so
That's a fact.
to the amazing stuff here, we were able to figure out. Videographer. Present yourself.
Peter just said videotape the whole thing, so.
I'm myself, A.O.W, and the designer. designed this beautiful prototype. You can see she did it with our help, but mostly was her. She spent all these hours doing it. Take care as a host too. So,
Alright, so before I even explain it, just show you how it works a little bit. So, we didn't give it too much. It's moving slowly. We chose for it to move slowly because it carries a lot of weight. But as you see, we made it go forward and make a little spin so it can make its little dance. As you can see, we put the C, G, A, and B ports to make it move forward. But we couldn't make it go. The problem was it couldn't do all the functions at once. So we tried to make it do it step by step, meaning like we made it wait to do a degree, then we try to make it move forward again so it can do a little dance, but then we left the fan on so it can keep on blowing to demonstrate to you guys how it goes.
what's spinning right there is a sprinkler that I was talking to you about.
Again, and it's gonna keep running too.
The video. We have some here recorded. Basically, just show you what it's doing right now.
Yep.
So, like I mentioned, this is to extinguish the fire, to help people out, and basically all living beings on Earth. It includes plants, animals, humans. Like I said, it sucks out the smoke here in this filter that she built, and it comes out in the front. And it also carries water hose in there that you can see, just in case. It can also be used manually. Nobody comes around with a camera. Oh yes, it has a camera too. Just because it goes around and checks if there's any human or any life that needs rescuing.
Our next team will be Team Galileo. Give it up for them.
So we should explain that both the coder and I think the designer might have left, so they're down to two. So they're going to give their presentation. So they're struggled a little bit because they had to leave. They did a fantastic job, as you can see. Both the coder and the I think the designer had to go.
Hi, hello, good night everyone. Our team is Team Galileo. As she's already mentioned, two of our people that were here, they had to leave early, so we sort of had to try to do our best what we can, but you know, I think we did pretty good considering the circumstances. Okay, we do have our names here. Okay, so what we had here in this particular instance is we have two different type of prototypes. So what was the mission that we had? Okay, can you scroll up a little bit? Okay.
It's cut off for some.
So make it smaller. Yeah, just pull it down, please. There's a part that our mission got pulled up.
If you select it, you can decrease the size of the text. No. Just control Z and under it, and then
It's
decrease
got
the size of the text.
Okay. Well, anyways, okay. So our mission essentially was basically to incorporate AI and technological advancements in order to assist with natural disasters, whether it's with governmental and non-governmental entities, whether local government or just in general to help in those type of instances. Our objective basically was to utilize robotics to assist firefighters with containment of large-scale fires. So our team roles, we had our coder, which of the 2 people that we had, they're not, Jordan's here with us, so he had a portion of it, and then also Raphael was with as well. He's not here. I tried to do some of the videography, but everybody in the team kind of in general worked together. The design was Ashley and Raphael, and then, like I said, everybody was helping each other out as best as we could. Go ahead to the next slide, please. So our objectives for the first one that we had, we wanted the device to be able to carry supplies to the firefighter or in harsh environments following specific directions till it gets to the firefighters. And we wanted to have the 4 sensors to go around obstacles and to carry cargo space, to carry objects and things of that nature. So in the next slide, we did have our coding. As you can see in our coding, we tried to utilize the while loop that if one thing happens, then it should, our main objective was, like I said, if there was something objectively in the way, like we didn't know what it was, for the machine to basically stop and revert or divert its direction. And as you can see here, we have different parts with regarding to the distance and the speed and the rotation. Next slide, that's just a little bit more of the coding that's going on. And then you want to do the first part? So go ahead and do the first one. So like we did it really slow, but essentially we were trying to make it like anytime it had some sort of feeling, then it would basically do that. So that's where we stopped. We do have the video as well. I think it's a little bit better. Okay, so then we had the other objectives is the prototype for the helicopter, which was to assist with carrying civilians to safety and supplies, and it carries civilians away from fires to a safe destination. It's mobile, it doesn't fly, but we were in the ongoing beginning stages of potentially getting it to move, but of course it cannot fly, but it can still move and utilize its wings and stuff. So we do have the coding for it there, and then you want to go ahead and do the okay, so it didn't port, but this is the example of the video of what happened. So that's what we had as well. So yeah, so I mean, like I said, I think we did okay considering that we, you know, our man went down like halfway, and then the other person that was also helping as well, she left as well. But as you can see, like we had a basis for like a prototype of potential things that we could foresee in the future, maybe anywhere.
Our next team presenting will be Team A.O.W. Give it up for them.
Hi everybody, We're team A.O.W. I will let anybody else explain the reference because I don't honestly
He
get it.
doesn't watch anime. It's basically Attack on Titan, but it's Attack on Wildfires.
Oh, okay, so it is Attack on Titan. Okay.
Yes.
So we designed our helicopter based off of an Apache. It has a water reservoir for putting out fires. It has 2 water cannons here at the front that would dispense the water. And it also has the ability to drop the biodegradable fire extinguishing foam that will put out the fire. Sorry. It has a temperature sensor, so it would be able to find potential hotspots to help reduce the risk of further incendiary response by the fire. So doing that would allow, would restrict the fire from spreading to further areas. We did have it able to spin, but the code kind of went. So I built the machine. He coded it.
Yeah, I'm a beginner coder. It's my first semester coding. It was actually working. So based off the light detection, it detects like the fire, so it could be able to disperse from the hose and the biodegradable to put out the fires.
I didn't get to see the presentation.
So yeah, we did a little bit of everything because we do get a bunch of victims of wildfires, but we all can say that the first victims are always the firefighters, and they are the first line of defense. If they fall, everyone falls, and our goal was to help them as much as possible. Because when you're in the fire, your vision is limited. The next thing you know, it's fire behind you and everything. So that's where our A.O.W. really came in, try and watch out for them, watch for the exits, make sure that they know where they can potentially stop it, so that we can prevent more victims. And yeah, because if they fall, then we all fall. And that was a code. He did really great. And then for some reason, as soon as we came up, it just stopped working. Technology, I guess. And then,
What was the video?
yeah, the video is on the other part.
So we hadn't had it fully assembled, but we did have the gears working.
Very good, very good.
Thank you so much.
Very good.
Any questions from the judges?
Can you guys state the duties for each person? Yeah, I know he's a coder.
Yeah, he's the coder.
I was the builder.
He's the builder. She was the focus on the presentation and research, and I was kind of part of all 3.
And if you go back, I think it's on the slide. I remember
Yes,
it's on the slide, just to make sure that for the judges, it is on the slide. I think it's the second one. Right there.
Okay.
Okay? Just to, yeah. Oh, thank you. You had 2 of them? You should just pick one. Did you know there were 2, the people who had 2?
Mm-hmm.
But they were, the guy who did the coding, who had the lathe, he was good, but he didn't follow through, so you should balance that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to let you know, just pick one, because that's not fair to the other groups. Okay?
Correct.
And I would pick the one that was more to the topic,
Correct.
if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Okay, good luck, guys.
Thank you. So the duties.
Comet core, Phoenix, the 2 cores I think I scored the highest. I don't remember what the other Phoenix core was.
Phoenix?
Emma, Peter, Juan. Oh, Juan, the little
Juan,
guy.
yeah,
They
he's
were
the
good.
one. Juan was good because it
Yeah.
had a camera, it had he had an extinguisher and something else. Theirs actually worked too.
Yeah, the last ones just didn't work. Right?
Yeah.
The 2 cores I scored, they were.
I'm gonna go with my highest scores in 2 seconds. This test.
The one team that had the dancing for the make the people happy, I didn't understand why it was dancing and why it was making. Where would it be to make people happy? Because
So I understand their logic. They wanted to go
like
non-traditional,
support.
Something more supportive.
Right.
But I feel like it doesn't necessarily fit the theme of respond, distinguish, defend.
Right. It doesn't.
Right? So that's kind of why I was like,
If it was a fourth
Which team
category
was that?
called support, was that Galileo?
I can tell you in a
I don't
second.
remember. She was a really good presenter, though.
Yeah, she was.
She was good.
Yeah, like even when she stumbled, she's like, "Oh yeah, but no, it's this." Like
Yeah,
she's
on
quick.
top of it for
Yeah.
sure.
She's good.
Let me do this last one. So what was the themes again that we need to pick for?
Best overall, and then most close to theme.
Best overall and
Closest to the theme, which is the red.
okay. Who do you guys think is best overall?
But if I knew where to find it on the Lego, I would definitely do that. And also, if we knew a little bit about Python, because none of my team knew anything about coding. So if we knew maybe a little bit of basic, we wouldn't have like some issue. Then I would say that was on us, but I didn't know that we needed our own computer for the better like devices.
Okay. I would say a good addition would be more building materials, more sensors.
Oh, really?
Because it does give us limitations that force us to be creative. Where we found ourselves running out of a certain kind of piece that we needed, so we had to get creative and find a way to make it, even though a little lopsided, it kind of fits together. And I think more sensors and modules could let us go further and go in different directions instead of just the motors and the camera. Maybe, I don't know if they make more sensors for the LEGO Spike kits, but if they do, it would allow us to go further creatively.
I got something.
So we want to introduce.
Did you? No, it's just something to add on to whichever team said so. Maybe it's just an idea, but maybe there is, but we can look for next time spikes that possibly have more ports. There's probably kits out there, but they might have more ports. That could be an option.
Okay. So, a question just by show of hands. How many of you guys were impressed with the design of the robot that your team made? How many of you guys expected to make as much progress as you made tonight, knowing that some of you had no experience in coding, no experience in designing or engineering, no experience with Lego? How many of you guys expected to have the success you had in your team project? Nobody expected. No? Okay, last question. How many of you guys think you made a friend here at Broward College? All right. So I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, and a friend of ours, and a friend of Broward College. So Denise Mendez, hi, nice to see you.
See you again.
Denise met us when we first started back in 2022, early 2022. And right off the bat, Denise said to us, you guys have this amazing opportunity. You guys can go out and do all these things. Here are some suggestions, and these are some of the things. And we talked about the HoloLenses. And we talked about some of the companies, and a company, a friend of yours, that using technology to teach baking to adult students with special needs. Using AR, similar to what you guys saw, they did the Magic Leap 2, and they did the Wildfire experience, which a lot of them, and I felt like a lot of you incorporated some of the stuff you guys took from the AR into your presentations. Yeah, and just relating to like the first responders and the type of, the scenario, because we were talking about emergency management and wildfire, but we couldn't really conceptualize, right? Then the headsets let you see what a wildfire could be. So, I don't have my glasses.
You don't need to read it.
All right.
I can introduce myself.
All right. So with that,
a couple of these guys.
No, we're good. She's perfect. She's perfect. She's perfect and perfect for us. you guys want to know, and you guys want to get to know Denise. She's worked with high school students. She's worked with college students. She's worked with staff here at the college. She's presented to Broward College, to the leadership of the college. She is an advocate for you guys, even though you don't know her yet. And once you get to know her, you're going to just enjoy the vibe, right? She's really cool. And with that, Denise.
I'm gonna yell. Show me. Sorry, I was hoping to catch some of the pitches, but you guys got finished a little earlier, which is good. But how many teams are there? 5 teams.
Can you guys show your robots? Can she just see at least the projects?
I see some robots over here. Ooh, helicopter, nice. Kind of hovercraft here. Ooh, this looks like a Vex robot. Very cool. Ooh, another flying robot. Oh, you got a little. Oh, very cute. Oh, awesome. Oh, like a power generation robot, almost like with a turbine.
Yeah, it was posted on the.
Oh, very cool. Nice. That looks like a snowplow almost.
It's got a moving bucket logo.
Oh, to get rid of the stuff out of the street?
You got a servo controlling a gate with like a shelter inside. Crane drops.
Very cool. That's awesome. I'm going to talk a little bit of myself. I'm going to tell you about my career journey. I'm going to give you some quick life lessons. I'm a principal software engineer. I currently work at Microsoft. I went to Hialeah Maumee Lakes elementary school, middle school, Hialeah Maumee Lakes High School. I went to FIU for 2 years. I transferred to UF. I've been in South Florida my whole entire life. Well, since I was in 2nd grade. But you know, this is my home. I worked at NASA, which was amazing. I then worked at Motorola for 15 years. I built every first cell phone that had a new thing. So there used to be cell phones that just had 10 buttons and a power. And then I got to build a cell phone with Bluetooth, with Wi-Fi, with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, with GPS, with a camera, with 2 cameras, with a touchscreen, with Android. And then Apple came in, ate our lunch, made a much better product. Let me rephrase that. They did not make a much better product. They made a really fantastic user interface on a good hardware platform. And then I found myself going and working at a company called Magic Leap. I guess you guys got to experience the Magic Leap 2 earlier today, which is really cool. Isn't that amazing? That's like Iron Man technology. Like you think that technology doesn't exist. That technology's 10 years old. So if you can imagine that is not new technology, that is actually old technology. I currently work at Microsoft, and I work on the HoloLens. And you think that my career was very straightforward, but my whole journey is actually a convoluted mess of life happening. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my career, about the challenges I've had to face, and give you a couple of life lessons for you to carry on forward, like what you did today. Who here has never coded before? Yeah, and you guys coded a little bit today for the first time, and you made a robot do a thing. That's like my favorite thing on the earth, is to make code that makes things in the real world do things. Like making a light go blinky blinky, I think is exciting. I'm sure making the servo go up and down for the first time and you having that control, that's addicting. That to me is like, it's an addicting drug, and it's kind of like what's guided my career. So I want to share with you how I got to NASA, because it was not something I would have ever expected that somebody like me would work at NASA. Latina, I had a good GPA. I was walking down the admissions office. This is a day where, you logged into the internet through a phone. And if someone picked up the phone on the house, you got disconnected. And all the internships were posted on a physical bulletin board. And then I see that logo. And I'm like, me? Making rockets at NASA? Why would they ever accept me? Why? What do I have to offer NASA? And I stopped and I said, what happens if I do nothing? Nothing happens. So if I do nothing, I don't get into NASA. If I actually apply and try to do something, what if they accept me? And I'm like, that would be life-changing, wouldn't it? So I applied. I wrote an essay by hand, 3 pages. I had to make 3 drafts of it by hand because the first one had scratches in it. And I was one of 10 interns that summer. I got to walk in the International Space Station before it was actually up in the sky. I got to work on a Mars mission prototype. They certified us interns as scuba divers. It was the most amazing summer of my life, for my career and for everything. And it was an opportunity I almost passed by because I thought I wasn't worthy. Because I thought I didn't have it in me to do something like that, that no one would think I had value. And they loved me. They offered me a job, but I'm a good Latina girl, and Titusville is really not very Latin friendly at the time, still probably isn't. But I wanted to come back home. And I was applying for jobs, and there was this whole new platform. Like, you used to apply for jobs, you'd mail your resume with a stamp to the places and hope they got back to you 3 to 4 weeks later, you know, with, yeah, we'd love to talk to you. There was a thing called monsterboard.com. It's like, oh, you can put your resume on there digitally. And I'm like, okay, whatever the hell this is, I'm gonna go play with it and try it out. I had to figure out how to format my resume. I had no idea anything about this platform. And it just so happens that Motorola was looking for people that were doing things a little weird. So they actually pulled my resume right off a monster board, and they're like, okay, she's doing something, you know, there's very few people posting their resumes on this platform. It's new, it's unique, it's different, and we want people that think that way. And that's how I ended up at Motorola. So kind of like life lesson number 1, you're definitely stronger than you think you are, and you sometimes have to take a leap that you don't think you can actually make. Because you never know. Again, if you do nothing, nothing happens. So lesson number 2 is about networking. You know, I heard, oh, you wanna drive? I heard a lot of you say, I heard Robert ask you guys how many people made a friend today that they didn't expect to make. Nobody? 1 person. Okay, well, you know what? That's more than 0. So 1 is definitely huge, or actually a multiple of you made a friend today. What you're here to do is to build connection. When I worked at Motorola for 15 years. I worked with the same team for 15 years. I knew everybody knew me, and when we all lost our job at the same time, a bunch of people got hired at a company called Magic Leap, and the people that I had been working with for 15 years, I'm like, I got this. They know what I am capable of. They'll hire me, and they didn't. Yeah. No, they didn't. And I'm like, it was really like an existential crisis. Like, what happened the last 15 years? I worked really hard. I kept my head down. I worked. And nobody actually knew what I did. Some of the people did. I ended up making it into Magic Leap through people I had worked with in the past, who I worked really closely with, and they knew what I was capable of, but not the people that I had been working with for the last 15 years. And that was a huge lesson for me, because between Magic Leap and when I joined Magic Leap, I said, well, that Denise was so heads down, so nose to the grindstone. She worked really hard, and everybody who got hired was like, Denise, I don't know why they wouldn't hire you. And I said, okay, when this Denise joins a new company, this is going to be the anti-Denise. This Denise is going to say yes to everything. This Denise is going to, if somebody suggests something, this Denise is going to amplify it. So I got to Magic Leap, and somebody posted on Slack, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we played with Arduinos? And I'm like, yeah, I think that's cool. And instead of saying, yeah, I think that's cool, I said, yeah, I think that's cool, let's talk about it. I'll set up a meeting next week during lunchtime, and let's talk about what that looks like. And we ended up building a crazy robotic arm, like 5 or 6 of us, and the friendships I made because I coordinated and organized that meeting that I still carry to this day. And then it wasn't just the Android Club. I started a Toastmasters Club, and I was the Vice President of Education, and we were an award-winning Toastmasters Club down here. And then I started the women's in a mixed reality group, and then that led to me supporting the LGBTQ group and the Black group and the veterans group, and then there was a family group, and by the time I was done, there was like 7 ERGs at Magically. And then something funny happened in 2020. The pandemic, and Magically ran out of money. And so in March of 2020, everybody got told, let's go work from home. And a week later, I got called, and I got an email 15 minutes before 9 a.m. and says, there's a mandatory 9 a.m. call, and I know what that is. A mandatory 9 a.m. call that you get 5 minutes before, that's no good. So I get on the call, the CEO gets on the call, he turns off the camera, he's crying his eyes out. He's like, my camera doesn't work. I'm like, chicken roni. Sorry, but we're gonna have to let half of you go. And I was in that half that got let go. Now, I just bought a house, I just bought a car, and now there's something going on and we don't know what the hell it is, and I need to find a job. And I had seen this before, but I had built a network. So the first thing I did when I got off that call, I went on Slack. I'm like, they're gonna cut us off from the internet, from the intranet in a short period of time. So I went on Slack, I put my Google Drive up there. It says, if you have been impacted, put your name, your email address, what you did, what you're looking for, your current title, and your LinkedIn profile, and let's stay connected. And so me and this girl, Laura, got this sheet. Laura I'd seen once in person. I met her completely remote because she worked in Washington State at Magically. So she and I started posting on Twitter, on LinkedIn. If you are looking for talented engineers and immersive technologies, here's this fantastic group of people. And then I'm tweeting it out, she's tweeting it out, and somebody replies back to her and says, oh, I'm looking for somebody. And I'm like, ooh, let's see who this person is. I went on LinkedIn and I'm like, damn, this sounds like exactly what I was doing at Magically. I reached out to him. He knew Laura, and she knew me, and he's like, let's talk. We had a fantastic 30-minute conversation that turned out to be an hour and a half, and I was pretty much hired at Microsoft. And I went from not having a network at Motorola to having a network. And so building a network is not doing this on your phone. Go to the next one. Building a network is what you guys are doing here today. It's being in person, it's being face-to-face, it's trying to solve problems together. I'm looking at Suna because I know Suna's been leading the InTech Club in Broward College. And he went from somebody who wouldn't speak in public and was very quiet, and now some of you might know that he's not quite so quiet, and everybody knows who he is, huh? Yeah, and he's not quite so quiet, and he's built quite a name for himself. And I know Suna, and when Suna, if ever I have an opportunity and I'm looking for somebody with VR AR development that can do mad prototyping really fast, he would be somebody that I would hire in a heartbeat, because I've gotten to the privilege of interacting with him throughout the last 2 to 3 years. So he's doing acts of service. Being the president of the InTech Club is not a grateful opportunity. He doesn't get paid to do it. He does that out of the kindness of his heart, but he's getting a lot out of that networking opportunity. He's getting to get to meet people. So what you do today with networking is huge. Yeah. So these are going to be rapid fire. How much time do I have?
We're done. We have winners.
You have winners?
Yeah, we have winners. Are we ready?
All right.
You get close.
I'm gonna do one more thing. I won't go through the slides, but the last lesson I want you to learn, or like to give to you, is the only true constant in life is change. So on Monday night, I received a business update meeting. And I freaked the heck out. And Tuesday I get to this business update meeting, and they sold all of mixed reality to Anduril. and there's 9 people that are staying behind at Microsoft, and the other 550 people are getting offers to work at Anduril. They're taking everything. I'm one of the 9 people that's left behind. And so now I'm in this position where I had to reevaluate what I've been doing for the last 10 years, what comes next for me. But as soon as I got that email, I went to work. I started to say, who's impacted, who's in this meeting, who do these people know? Okay, well, and I started to realize I'm not let go. I'm sticking around. I know who my new team manager is. I started reaching out to everybody in the community. Hey, what's happening here? What did you hear there? And I pieced together what happened way before anybody else does. A lot of people are still suffering from whiplash over what happened just 2 days ago. And it's interesting times. But, learning to code and the resiliency and what you guys are doing today is all about, dealing with that constant change. The world that I work in today and the world that you guys will work in 20 years from now is going to be a vastly different place. So it was great talking to you. You guys have some winners. Go back to your other slides.
Okay, you're gonna bring him out? What do you want to do? Okay, do the raffle. We have to. Yeah.
Ooh, you guys got 3 printed medals.
Okay, we have 2 raffles.
Bring them in the bus.
So let's give it up for Denise. Again, I do want to thank everyone to participate in this inaugural first Coding Under the Stars. And from 1 to 1 to count for yourself, we're able to do this for you. Alright, so right now we're going to present our proud favorite. So can I have a drum roll, please? Our proud favorite is Team Rocket!
I can't lift my arm, it's that I hurt it, my shoulder.
Oh, Robert, maybe
So
you
you
might
guys will
help.
help.
They're gonna do it. Somebody help?
Yeah, you're
Is
good.
there 4? Are there just 3 of you?
There's only 3 of us.
Okay, 3 of them. Go ahead and hang on.
Very
good. Okay, go.
Congratulations!
Now, our next team will be Best Team. Can I have a drum roll, please? Phoenix 4!
Phoenix 4! Here we go, congratulations.
You're not getting
Congratulations. Me, my parents have been out for here. Congratulations. There we go. There we go.
Our last team.
Okay, before you, I'm sorry, just before you do that. So the best overall is what she's gonna go next, and the best overall can come and pick up one of those up here. This one here has 2 in it for each of you, okay, just to let you know. So what you choose, I think that's gonna work. We'll see. Okay, and then after best overall, the theme can come up, pick one. And then after the theme, the what? Yeah, okay, very good.
Alright, so for best overall, can I have a big drum roll, please? Best overall is Comet.
Suna keeps dropping.
Suna, stop dropping.
I know. Suna's like the winner all the time. Wherever I see.
We're all about the winner all the time.
Great.
Okay, you guys.
Congratulations. And you know, of all of you, she has the best handshake. I can tell you, she's got a good handshake.
Guys,
Drone.
We'll let Denise hold your project.
I won't stop now. I won't stop now. Put your hands up, keep in the sky for the whole day. Looking at my folks locked down. I never went nowhere. They say it's on the track. Living on that contour. It's hard to know the yak. I'm moving through this track. So I spit my all this Oh, that's great. They had to turn
Thank you. I have to one at home. It's so I'm so excited.
Bro, you want to be cooking me up breakfast? Bro, you might as well take this. I don't make no waffles.
No, it's actually pretty good. I have that exact one. They were perfect.
You guys want to take a picture with Denise? All right. We got one more. We got multiple photos.
I just want to say something to you.
I'll leave it there away.
Thank God I don't want to make a bed.
Why would I have to go?
I'm getting ready to IT. I'm ready. Like, go to IT.
Hello, everybody. I know there are still some contestants who are taking their pictures. Right, I just wanted to be kind of brief. You know, should I get to after everybody's finished? I know everybody's kind of distracted. All right, so I just wanted to be brief. I know they're all tired and want to go home. So for those of you guys who don't know, hi, my name is Suna Imhotep. I'm the current president of Intech at Broward College Central. And you know, what you guys probably heard, this isn't my first rodeo, not my first hackathon. I know a lot of people are they're saying that they're not surprised that I've won today. I participated in 4 hackathons at this point, not including this one. Shell Hacks 2023, Fluent Hacks 2023, and then Shell Hacks and Fluent Hacks 2024. This is the first time I'm winning best overall or best in anything. This is a long time in the making.
Redemption arc.
And I just wanted to say that I know a lot of you here this is your first time coding, this is your first time interacting with the technology, first time working with the Legos. I wanted to say that I'm really proud of all of you for what you were able to accomplish today. While watching you guys' presentations, I was able to notice a lot of things that I really liked about your projects. I suppose starting with, if I can remember everybody's names. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so I guess I'll start with Team Rocket. For full disclosure, 2 of the members of Team Rocket are my sisters. Hi. One of the things I noticed about you is that you very much played to your strengths in your inexperience with programming. You made instead of going for a device that you weren't very experienced, you couldn't very complex, you worked with what you knew, and you made an innovative and creative way within what you knew. And that's very important for engaging in future hackathons. A lot of my hackathons, especially early on, we did not make a large technical marvel. We just worked with what we had, and hopefully it was enough. And I believe that's what ended up getting you guys crowd favorite. You guys made a very unique product, and I'm proud of you for doing that. You very much worked to your strengths.
Suna, before the people want to leave, I want to get one group picture with the coding under the stars, and then we'll let you talk as we're cleaning up and wrapping up, all right?
Okay.
So guys, if we can get everybody to find a space along this huge Comet wall, where we can get a picture. No, wherever you are, whatever, however it looks. Sean, you guys.